All right, welcome back to Desk Talks. I am your host, Chase. I'm the COO here at Dynamic Educational Solutions. Today, I have with me Rob, our CEO of Dynamic Educational Solutions. Rob, how you doing, man?
And I'm back again. I'm great, dude. I'm great.
Rob
it's
is
a,
back.
It's a fantastic
Tell your
Tuesday. Amen. It's a fantastic Tuesday, and I don't know where I was going with that.
I like it. It was very much a dramatic pause. You remember the movie Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah.
I know we've referenced it on our social a little bit. It's one of my favorite movies, only because my favorite character in that is Grunk. And I do appreciate a good dramatic pause.
You got the poison? The poison for Cusco? Cusco's poison.
Well, hey, welcome back to Desk Talks. We're so glad that you are here. Today we're going to kick off with, like we've been doing recently, and I think we're going to keep on with this trend. We're going to do a little bit of veterans news. Today, I just want to give a big shout out to former Command Sergeant Major Veronica Knapp. Not really sure why she was relieved to command. All it says is traditional loss of confidence. This was our very first female Command Sergeant Major of a division. Kind of a big loss for us, I think, socially. I know that she was doing good things as far as public wise, but we hope that she and her family, or at least I do, hope she and her family are doing well and continued good things towards you. Robbo, you got anything for us?
I do, and I think I'm going more with the shock and awe approach. Okay, so I'm looking for. I know this is audio, and so people can't see us, but I'm intently watching your face. But something really caught my eye here. Struggling U.S. military requires every soldier to recruit an additional 300 new troops. You heard what I said?
Yeah, were you on The Onion?
Why did you have to ruin it? Yes, I'm on The Onion. Of course I'm on The Onion. What? You couldn't let me go with it for just 300? A little while longer?
I mean, come on, man.
Okay, all right. In all seriousness. So, all credit.
Off The Onion.
Welcome
to DES.
Yeah, welcome. It's your CEO talking. All right, so in real news, this is from military.com. Disabled veterans to Congress move out on stalled bill to allow payment of both retirement and disability benefits. I know that's a topic you and I covered about 2 or 3 desk talks ago. You brought that to our attention, that if Congress doesn't pass a new funding bill, something to that effect, that there could be some degradation in retirement and medical pay. But it sounds like they're on the right track, and they've approved something, so there won't be any degradation in those payments out to all of our military veteran brothers and sisters, which is fantastic news.
Absolutely. And military veterans, brothers and sisters, if you are ever in any financial need and you find yourself in a bind, there are tons of services that are out there for you. That is not something that we do here at Dynamic Educational Solutions, unfortunately. But there are resources out there. We if you are in that need, you can reach out to us and we could help connect you with the right people, the right VSOs to get you the help that you actually need. Do know that that's not something that we deal with regularly. So be patient. Other than that, that's pretty good news there, Rob. I like to hear that. I like to hear that our veterans are being taken care of.
Yeah, that our government's working how it should. I appreciate that too.
Good old government doing what it should. All right. Well, that brings us into our topic of conversation today, which I know Rob and I are usually pretty excited about what we're talking about, but this one's kind of hitting close to home for the two of us, and the reason why we do what we do. So we're going to talk about 4-year institutions versus NCD or professional certifications. Am I correct, Rob?
And I am. I'm fired up about this conversation. When we teed this episode up, I got the jitters. I got the jitters because it's an important conversation to have because not everyone is keeping a pulse on the educational landscape. You know, you and I were told, not in a bad way, but you and I were told whenever we were growing up, you need to go to college. You need to get the college degree.
You were told if you were ever going to if you're going to make enough to support your family and get ahead in life, you had to have that college degree.
Yep. But what happened in that? Now everybody's got a degree. And I am not knocking it.
Nope.
I am not. As I sit here today with a degree, I am not knocking it. But what I am saying is that there's been a shift in not only higher education, but also in the career landscape. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that. So, like you said, you and I grew up traditionally in Middle Tennessee with parents, mom who was an educator, father who then did not have his undergrad completed correct.
Mm-hmm.
He actually was an older, wiser learner, and went back and got his.
Well, I like that. I don't know if I've heard that before. I like that.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, I like that term as
have.
well because it makes me feel less old whenever you step on a college campus. But then they get one good look at my gray hairs and realize that I'm not one of them. But your older, wiser learners, your owls, are going to be who we're talking about, going back to the classroom.
Yep.
So for our older, wiser learners, meaning that you are a non-traditional path, meaning that you did not graduate high school, went straight into college, or to continue your education, right? This is what we're talking about, right? So if I'm a high school student and I get out and I go straight into military service, raise your hand if you've done that. Me. Right? So if you've done that, you come out, you are now considered a non-traditional path student, right? So going back and getting that 4-year degree can be very useful. We are going to talk about that, what you need a 4-year institution degree for. So if I want to go back after my military service and I say, hey, I want to be a police officer, right? You could absolutely go back and get that 4-year degree in law enforcement, in some type of judicial, services or something like that. Or you can go back and take go back to the police academy. Am I correct in that, Rob?
Yeah, you are. And if I can couch
you can apply your military background towards that, right?
Yeah, you can. And if I can couch it in a little bit different way. Let me capture this in a different way because not everyone, I don't think, I could be wrong, not everyone's going to understand what we're talking about. We're talking about undergraduate degrees, right? We're not talking about graduate degrees or your PhDs. Typically, whenever you get your graduate degree or you get a terminal degree, you're going into a specific field, right?
That's correct.
Your undergraduate is relatively general.
That is correct.
So, because, I'm sitting here with a degree in psychology, and I ended up starting a business consulting company with my brother. Psychology plays a part in that, but I didn't take business management classes. You know what I mean?
Yet here you are.
But here I am. And so we've seen that a little bit of a shift in the 4-year degrees or those undergraduate degrees, especially in the job placement space. What are companies looking for? Are they looking for a 4-year degree? Or are they looking for you to hold a professional licensure or professional certification? And I think that's what I want to talk about that.
Let's talk about that. So, Rob, if you could explain to us, you just explained to us what an undergraduate is. Explain to me what the last part was, right? Professional certificates. Is that what you said? Professional credentialing?
Yeah. Like professional licensure, professional certifications.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you want to be like a, just an example, if you want to do financial planning, right? You need to be a certified financial planner. You have to have a professional licensure for that.
Correct. Much like a CPA, like a certified public accountant, right?
There you go. That's a great example.
Like, I don't have to have a 4-year degree in accounting to get that, right? I could become a CPA by going and testing into that or gaining that knowledge, right?
Yeah, you have to have classroom time. So, I mean, in the build up to this, you and I were talking about this, and I said there's nothing wrong with a 4-year degree, right? There's nothing wrong with going to college and going the traditional route. You were getting all of the classroom knowledge that you need, right? To do something, to do X, whatever X is. You go to school to get the, and this is where I might upset some people, but to get the theoretical knowledge to do the job, X, right? But whenever we're talking about non-college degree programs, professional licensure, professional certifications, it's a mixture of the education necessary to accomplish the job, X, but it's also the real world application is inside of these NCD programs or these non-college degree programs. And they go by many different names.
For example, whenever you say that, like we're talking about like a NCD, if I wanted to go back and get my NCD or get a non-credited degree or non-credited program, right? Is that what that stands for, NCD?
Non-college degree.
Okay, non-college degree, right? So let's just say that I wanted to go get a non-college degree, right? Say if I wanted to go and be an electrician, right? Or if I wanted to go back and be a CPA, or if I wanted to go back and be a project manager, right?
Yeah.
Like those kind of courses, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's not
We're
so
talking
much
about like truck driving.
That's where we need to make a hard line here in the conversation. We're not talking about what we would traditionally put under the umbrella of trade school. So plumber, welder, electrician, trucker, things like that, right? Those are trade schools. We're talking about non-college degree programs. So the best and most widely used of those is probably project management. Project management.
Okay, so I wasn't on the right track with that, but that kind of clears up the water there. Yeah, I was close. So going in through like project management, C++, I'm assuming is another.
There you go. Yep.
Certification. Any Windows based, I guess, certification that they have.
You have like certified, you want to you want to get into hacking. You want to be a certified ethical hacker. You want to get into data science, right? Instead of going to school for 4 years plus to get your degree in data science, which I'm not knocking for those of you who have it.
No, absolutely you shouldn't do that.
You could go to a non-college degree program, a certificate program is probably the common vernacular, and go into that certificate program and take 16 weeks and come out with as a certified data science administrator. So you can get those entry-level jobs. You're not accumulating the debt that you would have from a traditional 4-year degree, right? Because it's sometimes a tenth of the cost to go to a certificate program over a 4-year degree and come out and immediately make, $65,000 on the low end.
So, but what are the advantages nowadays? Because we had to talk about that, the job market, right? Mm-hmm. So whenever we're talking about the job market, we're talking about all these licensures, professional licensures and professional certificates that we could do versus like a 4-year degree, right? So let's just say that, Chase Hurst wants to go back and I want to get my undergraduate in, let's say, music theory, right? Mm-hmm. What could a professional licensure or certificate, could I use that in conjunction with?
In conjunction with what?
If I'm going to go and I'm going to start working a logistics job where, maybe there's not a lot of music theory jobs out there, right? And I go back and I'm starting to work for a large corporation, maybe a Fortune 500 company in retail, right? Yeah. And I've made it up to, let's say, manager at this point, but I just don't have enough enough background. right? Is that where those professional
Yeah.
licensures would step in?
Yeah, you are on the right track. I mean, you are white hot there because I did. You need
Let's
both.
take this a step further, right? Let's
Yeah,
take this a step further.
You need both. You need that 4-year degree, right?
There you
And
go.
then you need the professional licensures or the professional certifications on top of that. The trend in the job market is, and you can notice this too. Anybody go on any of the job sites. I won't shout out a specific one, and just type in project management. That's what I did. I just typed in project management, Dallas, Texas, right? Just to give y'all an example. Historically, under the required qualifications portion, you're going to see the need for a 4-year degree. The job that I'm looking at comes from a massive wireless provider who everybody would know, that's really big here in Texas. Nowhere in their required qualifications does it say anything about an undergraduate degree. Nowhere. Instead, it says Microsoft Office Suite proficiency, Salesforce CRM experience, which you can get a professional certification in Salesforce, Tableau, SQL, project management skills, excellent communication. And then if you scroll down to preferred qualifications, certifications within Salesforce CRM, certifications within Tableau, Snowflake, SQL, the starting salary for this job is $118,800. The salary range is $118,000 to $178,000 a year. A year. Right?
So what you're saying is that if I am looking to go back and I'm looking to be and I don't know what I want to do, right?
Okay.
Let's just say I'm a veteran. I'm coming out. I've enlisted, right? I'm an enlisted veteran coming out. I have not finished my 4-year degree. I don't know what I want to do. I do know that I need to make money, right?
Yeah,
Would you
sure.
recommend a professional licensure or certificate to somebody like that?
There's a lot more fact finding that needs to go into that conversation. I would turn around and ask that individual, or ask you, what's your long-term plan? Where do you eventually want to be in your career? If you want to end up managing a department at a Fortune 500 company, you're going to need that 4-year degree. You're probably going to need a graduate degree, and you're going to need professional certifications, because the chances of you coming in to to a large corporation with only let's say one or two professional certifications and moving up, you're pigeonholing yourself probably to middle management with that. Because once you get past middle management, they really want you to have the higher education experience to go along with the real world experience.
Well, hold on now. Whenever I was working inside the U.S. military, okay, and I was an NCO, they told me that a lot of this stuff translates that whenever I get out, I will be able to go out there and find those jobs that are going to be in middle management, based off my military service.
They may, and they're out there. I gave one example, right? I gave one example with this astronomical 6-figure salary. That is a pie in the sky job. The reality of the situation is, you coming out of the military, and you only have you and I. You and I are great examples. We came out of the military with some college. We didn't have a college degree. We didn't have professional, any kind of professional certifications to get into what we wanted to get into. The chances of us, my first job, I made $14.25 an hour. And I was a father, a husband,
2 kids, and going to school.
Right. I didn't see a real salary increase until I had the educational experience to back up my real world knowledge, the application of that job. So if you're looking to earn money right away, if that is the plan, like I'm sure a lot of people's is, if your plan is, I need money coming out of the military, transitioning from service, I would say you need to pause and look long and hard at these professional certifications, professional licensures over the 4-year degree, right? And your GI Bill will cover some of those. Just make sure you verify that. But if your end goal is, I want to be a lawyer, well, you're going to have to go back to school for that.
You need to go back to university.
You got to go back to school for that.
Yeah.
You
have to go back to a traditional 4-year university.
But if you want to be a C-suite individual, if you have big aspirations, you want to lead a department inside of a insert company name here, right? You're going to have to cut your teeth somewhere. So I would recommend to you, Chase, if you're asking me the question, what's the best fit for me, and your aspirations are to go and, I don't know, be the general manager of a Walmart store.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, that's a great living, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to have real world experience, and you're going to need a college degree. But if, Chase, you just need to replace the salary that you had in the military and you're happy with that life, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope, that's a good life.
Instead of spending 4 years in your entire GI Bill that you have available to you, going and getting that undergraduate degree and coming out potentially with more debt to help sustain that standard of living that you're used to, I would tell you, why don't you just go back and get your project management certification? Go back, become a data scientist. It just makes more sense. So you have to break it down and look at it from, what's the end goal for me? For a lot of people, it's make money. And I'm telling you right now, you can make more money immediately by only looking at professional certifications over going back to school for 4 years. You can make more money immediately. So it's something to think about. Playing devil's advocate with people. I don't think there's a bad path. I think the only bad path is not utilizing the resources that are available to you.
I will say that there is no bad path, right? Because not everybody path is C-suite.
Nope.
Wants to be C-suite, right? And there's some people who don't want that life. They just want enough. They want enough for subsistence living, right? So I mean,
nothing wrong with that, man.
There's 1,001 different ways that you can crack that nut. I do appreciate you talking to us about those professional licensures and professional certificates there, Rob. Give us a better insight of what those are, and when to use those as well. And I will tell you there, Desk Talkers, if you're out there listening, you're wondering if you need to get a professional certificate or if you need to go back to a 4-year university. Like we've always told you, there are a lot of resources out there for you. That are available for you to help you discern that. We also do that here at DES as a free service to you. So please reach out to give us a call. Let's talk about professional licensure. Let's talk about professional certificates. Let's talk about 4-year versus traditional, not traditional, but 4-year versus trades. Right, Rob?
Yeah, you're right. And there is, we didn't even touch trade school. Because I know
that's a whole nother desk talk.
I know we're time constrained, but this is it's such a passionate topic for me, especially with my background on the NCD side, really pushing those because I've seen so much success. For veterans and their families focused on the NCD over the traditional 4-year degree, there is 100% merit in both, but we will cover trade school soon, and I am excited for that conversation. Yep.
I would be very interested, and maybe our audience will let us know in our comments, right, on our social and stuff, what they want to hear. Because I would love to take this and make this an After Actions. Right?
Let's do it.
So we could take this and roll it straight over into After Action. We can have this discussion where we could just unbutton and have this real. Or we could make this a live conversation. So
we haven't even scratched the surface.
Let us know.
Yeah,
we haven't even talked about it yet. I mean, we just got the like we said, Desk Talks are to get the conversation started, right? Yep. We're not having the conversation. So if you want to continue this conversation, you want to hear more about this, please reach out to us on our social. Send us an email, leave us a comment. We would love to have the conversation with you. All right, not to cut it off, not to cut time short, but that's all the time we have for us today here at Desk Talks. We'll see you next time. He's not like us, is what they keep screaming. OWL would be, okay, we can edit that out.
I don't want to edit any of this out. This is a no-edit podcast.
Oh, absolutely not. So you're